Mob Psycho is probably the best romance I've seen this whole year.
Like a bromance?
No, you have to love yourself first. Welcome to Between Nerds. This is Aldo Mendez.
That's true.
Drew Philip Elias.
Coming in with the heat early in this episode. This is episode what, like 1040?
140. 1040.
1040, 140, 1,000 episodes, 100 episodes. Just kidding.
Yeah.
This is episode 140 of Between Nerds podcast. Sorry for the delay. You know, life gets in the way, and it's all right. It's all right. It's a podcast. It's about anime. It's not that big of a deal. It's all right.
Yeah. You're not going to miss anything important. But please watch.
You guys can
Any
communicate.
news, you're not going to miss.
You guys can communicate with us anywhere. Any piece of social media. You guys have our email address, betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com. If you just want to chat. You just miss hearing our voices, and you just want to hear our input on something.
Yes, definitely. But Mob Psycho, dude. Mob Psycho Season 3, and god damn, I cannot believe how they close it together, bro. I always talk about tying a ribbon on something.
Yep.
And
Yes,
it definitely fucking does it, bro.
You're the ribbon boy.
The ribbon boy.
Ribbon boy Mendez approved.
Yes.
Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 is like the perfect ending to such a tightly enclosed circular anime. It's such like how I talk about the Demon Slayer manga, how it's like this perfect 300 chapters. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You're very comfortable with these
Which one
characters. Demon Slayer?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
But like Mob Psycho 100 is only 36 episodes. Took 7 years for all these 3 seasons to come out, but it's such like everything mattered.
It almost has like a duh moment, like at the end.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the way that was supposed to end. And it's funny because right now we try not to talk about it like when we're off mic, because then like it's not the same conversation, right? When we're trying to talk about it.
Right.
But Mob Psycho 100, it's something like when you're trying to explain like the first 3 seasons of like Attack on Titan. Like nothing makes sense until you fucking finish Attack on Titan, right?
It also has like this really like campy, wholesome quality that I attribute to something like
Ted Lasso.
The Office or Ted Lasso. Well, the Office more so, because like a lot of people don't like Mob Psycho 100 because when they see it at face value, you know what I mean? Like, it's a shonen, okay, cool, it's got big anime fight sequences, but it's just about some nerd with like...
And the animation is not so inviting.
It's not. It's really off-putting. Like, the manga is really ugly because one isn't really a good drawer. It's the same mangaka as One Punch Man, which is why the One Punch Man manga currently has a different illustrator, because one is funny, he's hilarious, but like he's kind of a shit illustrator. And so like it's that conversation I've had with people trying to talk about BoJack Horseman or The Office. Like, dude, you just got to make it through season 1, and I promise you'll love it. Which like people hate hearing that. People cannot stand that sensibility.
I don't understand why not. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
People hate that investment. You know what I mean? Especially like with something like watching TV or a movie. It's leisure time.
Yeah, it's right. You do care about your time when you're watching like shit like this. But Mob Psycho, dude.
Right.
Wow.
So it's about like this little. It's about this boy who has like a social anxiety disorder kind of thing.
Spectrum, absolutely.
He's and what we learned from the beginning is because he's in the beginning of season 1. It's because he's like suppressing this all-powerly kami quality, godlike quality, like psychic power. Like he could destroy the earth if he wanted to.
But you can remove that, like, from the fucking entire story, and now when it closes, it makes fucking sense.
Right. But like a big reason why we learn that he has these qualities of somebody on the spectrum, like you were saying, it's because he's trying to like suppress that psychic power within himself.
Correct.
And I feel like I didn't think about that for a while. Like, it's not until some actual trauma happens to him, like he gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, that's right.
Fucking Truck-kun, or what is it?
Truck-kun.
Yeah, Truck-kun. No, it's fucking crazy because I never noticed until like this season when I was watching it. I guess I just started noticing the patterns before even the ending. I was like, why is it always that we put that animation of like his mental stability like going up, you know, his percentage, his Mob Psycho 100 kind of level?
Yeah.
It's always like random, stuff.
Yeah.
It's not something like
It'll be
Like-
like, you have homework today. Boop, 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 boop.
constant.
15%.
Yeah, constant to like the story or what the end of that episode or like end of that season is gonna be. Until he actually does hit 100 because he's just stressed the entire fucking day.
Yeah.
It's weird because I never noticed it until like this season, but then how it closes, it's just like, oh well, duh, like duh, it's like this kid is just stressed about being a kid. The fucking psychic thing of it doesn't really matter at one point.
It doesn't. And I think that's what's interesting about how like the seasons are like structured. Because season 1 is very much like Mob trying to venture out a little bit. Like he joins the fitness club, the body improvement club.
Yeah, getting out of the comfort zone.
Right. It's about getting out of your comfort zone. Dude, I don't want to be like a scrub forever. I want to get out there a little bit. Which some of our like viewers and listeners and commenters particular are like, I would love for you to take that same advice. Season 2 is very much like it's Reagan's story. So it's like Mob is now more comfortable with who he is, and now it's Reagan's turn to kind of come to terms with like this false persona of being a psychic that also is like making false cures for random people. That like that was the fallout in season 2 of Mob Psycho 100, was that like Reagan got exposed by other psychics, and then it was up to Mob to kind of save the day and be like, dude, I know you're a scrub, I know you're faking it at some level, but like you're my boy, so it's all right. It's all right. And then season 3 is like the culmination of those two things together. It's Reagan finally accepting that lesson that he sort of learned in season 2, and it's Mob finally like realizing that like I don't have to suppress who I am at a certain level, and it's all right to get hurt or like be dumped, or it's like but you're stronger for it, right? Like your strength wasn't your this innate talent you had in being this all-powerful psychic. It's learning to cope with that, which is fine. Like I don't know why I'm thinking about this. Maybe it's just because I was watching the NFL draft 2 days ago. The Eagles just picked up a Georgia defensive lineman that's accused of involuntary manslaughter.
What?
For street racing. He killed 2 people.
Damn.
Or he was loosely associated. 2 people died.
Yeah.
And like he's been charged.
Damn.
And like you think of like somebody that's like 300 pounds, 6'4". Like, you've been given everything, dude. Why the fuck are you doing something so stupid?
Street racing?
Yeah, he should have been watching Mob Psycho 100 season 3. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He would have learned the lesson and be like, oh, I should take care of myself. And it's about being like a full-grown adult about it. Like, and I think that's the lesson Mob Psycho 100 teaches, which I think is super, super cool. Because even like the very first episode, he gets like a profession questionnaire. It's just like, what do you want to be when you grow up? He has a full-blown conniption for like a full episode about
what?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Mr. Reagan, how did you know that you wanted to run a psychic shop? And he's like, I didn't.
I was just kind of like fumbled here.
Did you? I forgot to ask you to watch the OVA. Because did you watch the OVA at the end of season 2, where they go to a hot spring?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you did watch that?
Yeah.
So like
when they're in the train, right?
yes.
Yeah,
okay. So we have what's his name from season 2? He was one of the bad guys in the evil psychic organization in season 2 that was fighting with an umbrella. But then
Serizawa?
Sarizawa. Yeah. So then like Mob did the Takano Jutsu on him, and he realized that like it's okay to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
So like I like the new dynamic in the office, because it's like Reagan doesn't need Mob as much anymore, which is probably a good thing, because he was kind of just like taking advantage of a middle schooler.
And yeah, definitely for his own gain. But I at the beginning of season 3, I was like thrown off. I'm like, how the fuck did the big broccoli happen again? Like, I didn't remember what happened like on the last episode.
Did you remember? Or do you want me to explain it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do remember, but I was so confused. I was like, oh yeah. Like, I don't know, because for a second, for like 2-3 episodes, like the broccoli is like super important.
Yeah, for the audience, if y'all don't remember the end of season 2, even though you should have watched our episode on season 2 of Mob Psycho 100,
and if not, you can just click somewhere.
Yeah. Pause this, click the other one, finish that whole episode, and then finish the season 1 episode, and then come back to this one.
See you next week.
Reagan had given him some free broccoli seeds that they had gotten from a client Mob was like, okay, cool, that's weird and stupid. And he just put them in his coat pocket. And then he had this full-blown psychic battle with the guy that leads the psychic organization in season 2. Suzuki. And what's the organization? Scar? Claw, that's right. And then, like, the people from season 1 are called Scars because they're the lesser Claw members.
Right.
So he's fighting the leader of Claw. They have this ginormous cityscape-wide psychic battle. What I can say about the difference between season 2 and season 3, season 2 has better fights. Like, and I don't think that's like a weird thing to say. Like season 2, the fight inside that girl's like consciousness.
Oh, that was intense.
That
bro.
one's insane.
But see the thing now with like those past seasons. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you're right. The fucking fights were awesome, and like. But, like, how Season 3 ends, like, I don't know, to me, just, like, this is not about him fighting anymore. Like, it's not even about the fights anymore.
I agree.
And it was something that I would think about, well, no. Let me rephrase that. Like, that's not something I think about from One Punch Man. Like, One Punch Man, I'm very invested in the fights. Like, I really want to see, like, a cool fight.
Plot.
Yeah, absolutely, right? But then before I watch season 3, when I'm watching Mob Psycho, I'm like, I want to see a cool fight, but then also the mundane stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
You know?
It does slice of life well.
The bocce, yeah.
The Bocchi the Rock kind of quality to
effect,
it.
yeah.
Bocchi the Rock and Mob are like the same character.
But anyways, what were you going to make a point of from the fights?
So Mob fighting this guy from Claw. He just like exudes so much psychic energy at one time that like all that psychic energy needs to go like somewhere, and it like sprouts those broccoli seeds that were in his shirt, and in the middle of the city you just have like this 100-meter tall tree. Like it's literally like this giant broccoli tree, and then like the first arc, if you'll call it an arc, the first like handful of episodes are about people worshiping this broccoli tree, which like there's a fan theory, a really popular fan theory that like Mob Psycho 100 has a cyclical plot structure. Like the very first plot line in season 1 of Mob Psycho 100 is Mob accidentally gets tricked into going to the cult, into the Smiling Cult or whatever.
That's where Dimples comes from.
Where Dimple came from. And Dimple is a little green booker ghost that follows him around.
Great arcing story, dude.
Right, and that's what I mean. So then the first arc for season 3 is a Dimple arc about being praised again. Because that is probably the best fight of this episode. I'd say like Dimple versus Mob, or Dimple versus, what's his name, the blonde guy?
The blonde guy? Reagan?
No. The blonde kid from season 1.
Oh, yeah, the one with the weird head?
Senizawa or
The one with the weird
Hanazawa.
Hanazawa, yeah.
Hanazawa.
Yeah.
So, like, basically what happens, right, is that the tree of broccoli that Mob had accidentally created was imbued with so much psychic energy, and it started getting like praise energy, which is somehow different in this world. Like the power system doesn't matter. It's Mob Psycho 100, right?
Yeah.
Like Dimple always wishing that, like, remembering his original plan in life, which was to like create a cult and like harness the power of people worshiping him. He decides that people praising this tree and like all these tourists coming in and like they're doing Taoist Buddhist rituals on it. He realizes that if he goes and like implants himself in that broccoli tree, he can kind of sap out that energy and he can become like a god, like he always wanted to be at a certain point. And that sucks kind of, because like we're talking about Mob has learned so much and like has grown so much, and Reagan has learned a good amount last season. But if you remember from season 1, like our core 3 homies are Mob, Dimple, and Reagan. And like it's funny that like I forgot about it, because like once the anime brings it back up, I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. Like because it's a big deal, you know what I mean? Because even the little girl that's in love with Colts in Mob school, she tells him straight up. She's like, "Oh, I was really obsessed with you for a while, Mob, because like I thought that you were the super psycho helmet boss, but it turns out you're not."
Yeah.
Because Dimple had created like he starts making like a personification of the tree that looks like Mob.
Yeah.
Like it's a broccoli fixture, but it's still the same tree. And it's Dimple pretending to be Mob, and he's jumping on television and being like, "Praise me," and this stuff. And that was a sad fight. It was a sad fight when it happens because Hanazawa goes to the tree. Wait, it was Hanazawa that went first, right? Or was it Mob?
I think so.
It was Hanazawa, right? And tries to confront Dimple.
Yeah.
And Dimple kicks his ass.
Yeah.
And then Mob goes and is like, hey, you were being really mean, so now I gotta beat your ass for beating Hanazawa's ass. And that's when you first realize it's Dimple.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the whole like the whole confrontation, which is weird for Mob, but it's not in any way psychic or anything like that. It's like, dude, how about let's stop scheming people.
Yeah.
Let's stop like doing all this. Like we haven't kicked you out. You haven't been like, you know, like tossed out of the group. Like you're always
you're
here
the
in
homie.
office.
Like, what's the issue?
Yeah, exactly. And like he's just like, oh fuck that. Then he fucking leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, crazy.
Well, it's sad because like.
Yeah, super sad. Super sad. Yeah.
Because the tree kind of grows like a consciousness of its own. And then Dimple realizes that he can't control his own creation at a certain point. So like it's Frankenstein's monster like killing Frankenstein, right? And have you ever read Frankenstein?
I've read Frankenstein, yes.
It's probably like one of my favorite like classic books.
Mary Shelley's?
Yeah.
Dude,
The original?
absolutely.
Besides like the picture of Dorian Gray.
Besides the what?
The picture of Dorian Gray?
I never read that one.
He was Dorian Gray was a character in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, I've seen the movie, but I never read the thing.
Is there? Well, you saw the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
So like that. I'm super off track.
No, go ahead. What was going on? I love monster movies, dog. But yeah.
Well, the picture of Dorian Gray is interesting because it's kind of like the opposite of like if Reagan had never learned his lesson. It's this guy finds a painting and or somebody makes a painting of him, and it's him in his 20s, peak age, peak fitness, like peak looks, and the artist like cared so much about him that he wished that this guy Dorian Gray would always stay this peak perfection. And he did. Like, it's never really explained. It's some sci-fi fantasy stuff, but it's just kind of there, like 1950s fantasy. Like, it just happens. And so, like, Dorian Gray...
It's like the emotion... it's almost like the ending where he gets run over. Or, like, the Jujutsu Kaisen kind of energy, too, that, like, the more emotion you have towards something, like...
Yeah.
Haruka got cursed.
Yeah. It's like the Rika curse from the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. Yeah, it's exactly like that. But then the moral in the picture of Dorian Gray though is that he's alive for like hundreds of years in this peak state that he's in because like that artist's like wish was granted and he never aged. But the older he got, the more ugly he got on the inside. He was always drinking and picking up like strippers and like just progressively more debauchery, right? But then the gimmick, like in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, is his only weakness is if he looks at the painting, which is his true self, and realizes who he actually is and what he is actually on the inside. That's how you get rid of him.
That is wild, bro.
I don't know why I brought that up.
No. Let me tell you where your comment like.
Yeah. Tell me what I'm thinking about.
No. I'll tell you what your comment make me think like. Whenever you hear like some of those like interviews with like, oh yeah, I was a sex addict, about was like, when'd you find out? It's like, oh well, it was when I had such thing in my ass, and there was 3 people there, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what was in your asshole?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a super confession, like, cause like when you see like shows like my 800-pound life, it's like like how do you get there without noticing, right? But it's like the same thing with addiction. It's like
who's the comedian that plays Andrew Glauberman on Big Mouth? He just had a stand-up special come out on...
Oh, Mulaney?
Yes, Mulaney. It's like the Mulaney thing.
Yeah.
It's because like he was super crazy for like a couple years, but he would get like he would get really fucked up, like drink a lot, like take a bunch of like...
Yeah, just level himself out with drugs.
Right. So like he'd take a bunch of like bars and drink a bunch, and he's super zoned out on the bottom. But then he takes a bunch of Adderalls and stuff to like keep him level,
and just like cocaine, just to keep it like
just to keep it all down.
Yeah, just to keep it all down. That's wild, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I was watching some interviews, but I haven't seen the special, the new special.
I want to watch it. I do want to watch it.
I do want to watch it.
I've seen a bunch of TikToks about it.
Yeah, dude, I seen the conversation. Anyways.
So
back to Mob.
I was originally relating it to Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, because basically
Mary Shelley.
the broccoli tree, now that has so much like psychic energy and like praise energy inside of itself, it starts betraying Dimple. And like the way one draws his characters is hilarious, because like Dimple, god power Dimple is just like this buff, like round, soft-shelled, gold, bald Dimple. Like, it's just the same stupid face, the same stupid red dimples, but it's like gold Frieza. You know what I mean? Like, it's the stupidest power-up, but it's so on-brand for, like, one.
And he's just like, this
Yeah,
like, just run this shit.
You like, I could draw that, like,
Yeah.
but like, obviously, like, I'm not as talented to be as creative as he is, but like, it's hilarious,
You
like,
cannot
how
put
bad of an
those
author he is.
thoughts into painting.
There's no way.
Right.
There's no way. And that's what's so sad about that fight, right? Is that like Dimple from season 1, we remember, could never control Mom, because Mom's psychic power is so great that like he can't be controlled, and that's Dimple's like main power. So Mob starts getting his ass kicked by the tree,
the broccoli,
by the broccoli ghost thing, and it wants to keep him there like forever, because like, I don't know, it wants to keep leeching at his powers.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is a thing.
Which is a thing. That was a thing in like season 2. That's what the guy from Claw was doing. Dimple realizing where his priorities are. He no longer wants to be the god guy. He's like, no, like, that's my friend, that's my boy. Like, him and Reagan at the office, just hanging out and just being a bunch of dumbasses. That's where I need to be. That's where I belong. He knocks out Mob real quick, like karate chop. I forget how he knocked him out. He like karate chopped him on the neck or something.
I think so. Yeah.
But then you see Dimple, like, this fight's amazing because it's just laser blast and it's like watching a Dragon Ball Z fight.
Dude. I love how the energy is animated. Like, it's the fucking Demon Slayer too. Like how they animate like the actual fire and water and electricity. And
It's
stuff.
like, it's like watching Zenitsu's little fucking like lightning like strikes.
Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's crazy because like Mob wakes up after some amount of time that we as an audience aren't sure about, and all we see is Dimple's face, and we hear Dimple's inner dialogue, and he's like, "Oh, he's so out of it right now. I bet I could. So much of his energy has been zapped. I bet I could like
Get some.
I bet I could like mind control
Suck
him
some.
now.
Suck some energy. out of
He
him.
already sucked him. He already sucked him dry. What he's saying is now he can mind control him because he's been sucked.
Yes.
So, but like what he's doing is he's trying to protect Mob, and he wants him to get out of the fucking tree. So he like mind controls him, and he shows him a vision of Dimple as just the little booger ghost, and he's not in his big gold form. He's just like, Mob, go home. I'll meet you there, friend. Love you, bye. And then, what we as an audience see is what Dimple really looks like right now. Like, half of his torso has been blasted off. He's missing a leg. Like, half of his face has been blown off. He looks like Whitebeard from the Marineford arc in One Piece. Like,
shit.
Like, he's fucked up. And it's sad. It's super sad. Like, obviously, it's Mob Psycho 100, and like you don't really believe somebody's dead, right? Because like it's such like a happy-go-lucky show. But like this is the first time watching Mob Psycho that I was like, whoa, we're about to lose a major character right here.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Dimples also never like stand out to me. Like, you know,
but he was
like,
always there. Yeah,
he was always there. Yeah, which gives more credit to my point that like they beautifully like tied a ribbon around like every single like character almost.
Yeah,
you know, like the athletic club, the psychic club, the girl that wanted the cult leader to be him, the girl that he's in love with.
Oh, and that was also why Mob decided to go confront whatever was going on at the tree, because like he was getting more attention from girls.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the girls started paying more attention to the tree, and he was like, "Wait, I don't like this."
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, even this guy takes some. I thought they were gonna gear him up with some fresh shit, and then he gets like that monkey shirt.
Yeah,
it was bad.
It was Hanazawa.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's sad because like we see the first like actual depressive bout by Mob, and like it's his brother acknowledges it, his parents acknowledge it. He's just in his room in the dark for like 2-3 days, and he realizes that Dimple's probably gone.
Sometimes when we have these conversations, because we're a fucking anime podcast, and for some reason we have to actually talk to the audience. I have the feeling that I need to tell the audience what is going on specifically in the plot, instead of like the mundane stuff that I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like I don't remember.
Yeah.
But like those moments are hilarious. Like you brought up, like the him liking girls, him going shopping and stuff like that. Like that's the shit that you need to watch this shit for.
Yeah.
Not because of the plot, because of this little mundane shit, which matters like at the end of the fucking season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also like the last piece of animation where like Dimple like just kind of like vaults the broccoli into space. That was super cool.
That was fucking cool. Yeah.
That was super cool. And then from there, like it's funny because like no part of this season really feels like a structured plot, but like in retrospect it does, right? Like this whole part with the tree, like it just kind of started happening. It didn't feel like it was led up
Going
to
anywhere.
It didn't feel like it was going anywhere. It just kind of happened.
That's what I was gonna say too, like about the mundane stuff again. Every time we're at the office, before you finish watching season 3, at least for me, it feels like the setup to the episode.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't realize it.
Yeah, it's being in Seinfeld's apartment. It's
Yes.
being
It's like the beginning of Friends.
yeah, it's the beginning of the Friends being at the apartment. So, but like that thought in my head is completely removed after the end. And I keep talking about the fucking ending, but we'll get there. But I don't
No,
know.
it's a great ending.
I thought it was 10 out of 10, like
Really?
animation, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's something that is going to be talked about. Like,
I think I like season 2 more, but that's because of the action. And that doesn't mean season 3 is bad. That does
No,
not mean
exactly.
season 3 is bad.
but like overall, you were saying like this is such a
Perfect. It's
fucking-
perfect.
yeah.
Like there's literally nothing wrong with it. Like
Yeah.
there's not any singular thing that you can just name off. Like obviously taste is part of it. And like some people just don't like stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's perfectly fine. It's all right. I get it. It's cool. It's about a stupid middle schooler that can't ask out the girl he likes.
Jenny didn't see any of this anime, but she rewatched I rewatched the last 2 episodes of it.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to get back in those feels, because I feel like those were like my favorite episodes,
Oh yeah.
you know? And like she's like, what's going on with him? What like she's even like upset
Just
that-
pregnant and sad for him.
Yeah.
Like
she's like, oh, what's going on? Is like, that's his brother, right? It's like, yeah. It's like,
why is he beating the shit out
Oh,
of
dude, it's crazy, bro. I was like, oh, like just because of how cute that was, I was like, God damn it, like I'm in the perfect feels right now.
Well, it's because like I'm weird, right? And I get like the chills, like I get like goosebumps when I'm watching something I really like. I watched Suzume last week. I did not like the first half at all, but like the second, like the beginning of the third act starts, oh, chills everywhere, all over. Like I was just goosebumps. I was so into it. It was like this adrenaline rush. I was so excited to be watching this at this moment. The episodes you're talking about, that's exactly how I felt. Like he's beating the shit out of everybody that he loves to death, that he would die on a pyre for, and he's just literally about to kill them. And I'm just like, I'm bugging right now.
Yeah,
like I was
dude.
so upset. I was like mad that this was happening. It's like when oh, this is stupid in a reference I don't think I've given on this podcast yet. The first Pokemon movie, when the 2
Yeah.
Pikachus are beating the shit out of each other,
Oh,
and
right.
they're like about to cry, like Ash's Pikachu's about to cry,
Uh-huh.
Pika, and they're just all crying and just beating up on each other. That's what it's like watching Mob beat up on his friends. It's like, Mob, don't do it. You love them, I promise.
Yeah.
And anyways, so the Mob being sad from Dimple dying, it immediately goes to him being more involved with the what's it called, the paranormal club at middle school,
Yeah. The psychic one.
the psychic club, right?
Yeah.
Or they're just trying to find it's they don't even call it the psychic club. It's the what's a mind reader called?
Psychic.
No,
You mean the Japanese term that they use all the
like
time?
an Esper club or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So he gets more involved with them because he realizes that the leader of the club, Kurata Tome, that Tome's about to graduate middle school, and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm disbanding the stupid Esper club because we're all a bunch of fucking losers, and I think you guys should start taking your test seriously."
Yeah.
And I was again like, why are we watching this right now? Like, when have these characters ever mattered? They mattered
Because
like,
there was like playing like games or something.
yeah, and they're
Right?
just eating snacks, and they're just like sharing a club room with the Body Improvement Club, and like they only matter for like half an episode in episode 1, season 1, because immediately after the Body Improvement Club is introduced, they're just like thrown to the wayside.
Which I love that decision.
But like they get like 2-3 episodes where they're trying to find a different mind reading Esper, because Mob is a psychic, but he can't like actually project his thoughts. But then we're trying to like find aliens, right? Because like they realize, no, we've never done any actual club activities. We've just been fucking around. We're gonna actually go into the mountains and summon some aliens, and Reagan's gonna help us by renting a van, and it's gonna be cool. It's the last thing we do as a club. We're gonna do it, guys.
Yeah, she was getting emotional about it.
Yeah,
she was. Goddamn, she was getting emotional about it. She's like, it reminded me of K-On! With like the teacher and like how they saved like the memory box, and it's like, oh shit, this is the teacher.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, that's what she wants. I don't know. You could understand why she's like, I really cared about this. The only reason I have the club is because the athletic club does not need a little room.
Yeah,
because
they're all jogging outside. Yeah,
yeah, they're all working out there. And I don't know. It's just wild. It's just wild to see.
Well, I figured something sad was going to happen, because they find the original member of the Esper Club that like defected, and he's in the tennis club now. And Mob was able to find them because like there were 2 twins in season 1 that like have telepathy between each other. They can talk to each other in their minds, right? But then, so Mob's idea was like, he's going to pump all his Esper energy into them, and then lay out like a beacon kind of, and then anybody else that can do like telepathy will be able to merge and like hear their beacon, and they can help them out and summon the aliens. And that's where they meet that guy. And they're like, okay, cool, we're going to get President back. We're going to get Tomei back. And it's sad because like I started getting chills right here. So they go up to the mountain. They're up on the mountain. They're trying to do this ritual with rocks, and they're saying random, stupid, made-up words. And Tomei's like, "Come on, guys, we got to get out of here. Like, we crashed the van. This is a waste of time. This is never gonna happen." But then the stupid, ugly, other bull-headed cut guy, the blonde guy, Mamate Inukawa, he actually gets like abducted from aliens, and it's so random and stupid, and I'm just like, God, I love Mob Psycho 100 so much, because they're about to leave the top of this mountain, stars come out, actual aliens come down, they party with them all night until like 8 a.m. the next morning. They're actually just playing games and reading manga together, and they're playing, they had an actual PSP. I don't know where they got a PSP from. What year is Mob Psycho 100 supposed to be?
I don't know. That's crazy.
And like, so they're playing all night, and the aliens drop them off. They give them some mementos, a scarf, a jacket, and then they just don't drop off Inukawa. And then he just lives like a micro exposed eternity with these aliens. He saves them from an encroaching alien race that's trying to take over their planet. He falls in love. He has a new life. He has an apartment. He creates a family. He's like a governing body with these aliens, and it's happening. All this is happening just in like the ending credit sequence at the end of like episode 5. Like this entire story is taking place, and then he's just like randomly dropped back at Earth.
And the way that happens at the end of the episode while the credits are rolling and stuff, I really love well, if you were watching this in like television, you can see the spots where there's commercials, because it ends with like a picture frame or something, like a manga drawn kind of frame.
Yeah.
And they're so good. I don't know why I love them so much. It was just like Mob being embarrassed somewhere, or Mob being like overhearing a conversation. I don't know. It's just,
it looks like one's actual drawings.
Yeah. And it was so fun. It's so fun to watch Mob Psycho 100. I can't. It's like I'm watching fucking One Piece. It's like I'm watching. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's crazy.
It's like watching.
And then this fucking the 2 twins. Is it weird that I love their fucking designs?
No, I hate their designs.
Yeah.
I hate that because literally one's just a literal blockhead, like a ginormous block for a head.
One of them, like, it's animation. It's done by like, like a square, by squares, square shaped things, rectangles and stuff.
So
ears,
ugly.
Glasses, nose, mouth. and then the other one circles is just like a chunky dude. I don't know.
And it's funnier
hilarious.
because like the more you think about it, the more you're like, okay, one's not a good drawer, right? So he can't make enough standout character designs to like for you reading a black and white page to be like, oh, that's this guy, that's this guy. So he purposely draws people so ugly and outlandish that you get to be like, oh, okay, that's this guy, that's this guy.
One Piece thing, because you're never like, who's that guy? No, he has that power, this power, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. You know, like,
well, yeah. And the thing about like One Piece and like the manga is like it's way more detailed than like you read modern chapters and then you read like the original like East Blue Saga like chapters. You're like his drawing style has come such a long way.
Yeah,
but one's never did, and that's what makes Mob Psycho 100 cool. Is that it's ugly. Is what I'm trying to say. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, so no one realizes they just left this kid, and what's gonna happen when he goes back to school?
And then it's Studio Mappa, right?
It's not Mappa, it's Madhouse.
Madhouse.
It's Madhouse, which is like a bigger deal. Like Studio Madhouse has been around for forever.
Congratulations to whoever was the closing team on Mob Psycho 100 season 3, because the animation too, bro. Like I know it's ugly, but like seeing like,
but it's purposely ugly. Yeah.
Faces sweat, seeing this faces surprise, seeing this faces that SpongeBob close up.
No, I got you. Yeah.
It's fucking insanely funny. And besides that, the fights are amazing. You know what I'm saying? All the energy juice, even used,
yeah,
juice. But the energy used by what's that guy that comes in, the guy that's looking for the 100 demons?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this guy comes in, Reagan is being like facetious towards him, you know, and like pretentious because like, dude, I don't want to help you. It's like I don't want to do that right now. It's like my business is blowing up again. I have this other guy on the spectrum, Serizawa, helping me out, so I don't really and that's amazing.
I forgot all about. I forgot like the whole plot to the first episode.
Yeah. So then Serizawa. So I love that Serizawa.
It's not Madhouse. It's Studio Bones. My bad.
Oh, Bones.
Yeah.
Bones. Well, congratulations to Bones and Madhouse. Madhouse, you've been doing great too. No, just the fact that you don't notice it before you finish season 3, but like the fact that Mob is getting one Punch Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like leaving out of the equation, but that matters because we're seeing a kid learning to be a kid and learning to like get rid of some of the insecurities for his adult life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's so good.
And it's crazy too. That's kind of like the meme that like when you see people talking about Mob Psycho on like TikTok or like Instagram or something, or like even on YouTube, it's just like it's weird how much Studio Bones loves Mob Psycho 100. I was going down this rabbit hole of TikToks the other day of like people comparing the panel pages to certain scenes. It will literally be like one super ugly drawing of like Reagan just like half-assedly like washing his face, and it like it's bland, it's ugly, and it looks like a fifth grader drew it. But then you watch like the scene that it's translated to in the anime. It's crisp, it's clear, it's 4K. It's like Reagan, like what Alder's talking about, like water dripping down his face and his hair's
mist,
like,
a little
mist,
rainbow.
and you're just like, what? That's not even the same thing.
A little rainbow, like shine, like light spectrum kind of thing.
And I think that means a lot because like it shows what having like people that like the source material, what that can mean when they're given like space to just create.
Yeah,
like it's so cool. It's so because like even the first episode, it's funny because like the very first episode, and I completely forgot, it is actually about they go solve a curse because this guy he's a NEET, he's trapped at home, surrounded by trash, he can't find a job, he's balding, his girl left him, and he's just living in trash. But like the thing about Reagan that we're starting to learn, which is like actually the moral to the story of season 3, is that Reagan, even though his business model is literally to rip people off and tell them that he can see spirits when he really can't and that he's helping them, but most of their problems are just like they got crinks in the neck and he gives them badass massages.
That's how it started in season 1.
Their apartments are just disgusting, and like that's why they're wallowing depression because like
and he goes and cleans it up.
Yeah, clean mind, happy. What's the saying? Like clean room, happy mind. Something.
Yeah.
You get it. Like if you're in a bad mood and like you're feeling ugly and depressed,
Like
you
if your
just
space
clean.
is cluttered, your mind is cluttered.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That. So then, like,
Yeah.
Reagan's big superpower is just to start cleaning this guy's house. And he figures that's what it actually is. Like, okay, another bogus curse. Let me go clean this dude's apartment. And then when he leaves, the actual ghost blows the roof off this guy's house. And Mob and, what's his face?
Serizawa.
Serizawa are just like, what? What do we do, boss? What's
Yeah.
going on? He's like, oh my God, start cleaning things. Hurry, hurry.
It's amazing and I know you haven't seen it completely, but I know you watched it. Like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Like, its past like 2 seasons have been really good because it's about the humanization of the absolutely terrible characters that you see on the show.
I thought that was the opposite point of It's Always Sunny.
So I feel like, like we were talking about, like, oh, you just gotta get through the first season.
Right.
For you, it would be like you just have
6
to get
seasons.
through the-
You just gotta get through the longest running television
yeah, like
series.
12 seasons at least of just like terrible behavior, which now they're bringing in episodes that kind of close in those feelings of like, why is Charlie such an idiot, and why is he such like a runt, or like why is Max such like a homophobic gay conservative guy, you know what I'm saying? Or like, why is Dennis so vain and shit like that, or why is Dee so crazy and like
The
self-inserved? It's so crazy. But like here, like Reagan being Reagan, he went there to actually help.
yeah.
But he's trying to get money, but he's trying to do something to help this person. So he shows up to the apartment, sees a dirty apartment, cleans it because like, this is probably what it is. This
Like he went to the store to buy Lysol and shit.
yeah. And I just love that
Well,
about
because
like character development.
I can't remember where it happened, but at one point in season 2, I can't remember what the case was, but somebody tried offering him money, and he didn't really help them. And he felt bad about just ripping them off. Because normally he's always ripping people off, but he is helping them somewhat.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was a case in season 2 that like he flat out just like lied to someone. They didn't actually have an issue, and they were like, "Oh, let me give you all this money." He's like, "I can't. Like, I just can't." And that's what happens here. But it's funnier because like it's literally like it's like a dirty ghost curse thing. So he just starts spraying Lysol. He's like, power of Lysol spray in a circle.
Oh yeah, I can just like spraying this shit. Yeah, I remember that.
And then even the narrator would be like, "This is Reagan's super secret power. The Lysol spray in a circle. He hits as much surface area in
Kind of does a windmill kind of thing.
Oh my God, it's so stupid. It's so funny.
Yeah. But like, again, Studio Bones, thank you for animating those dumbass fucking things for us.
Yeah. And I don't know what they're gonna do next because it's so clear that they love it so much. Like,
Yeah.
what they're just gonna be begging one, like, please let us animate anything.
Keep going. Yeah. At least a movie will be tight.
Stop. We don't want to animate any more. My Hero Academia. We're tired. We're tired.
Oh,
Give us
poor
something
guys.
good.
Poor guys,
Give us
dude.
something good.
It's not going anywhere.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened in 5 seasons.
But what else can we talk about? Now, what were we talking about? I was talking about
We can
Reagan.
finally start talking about the ending if you want.
No. I guess I just wanted to talk about more because I feel like now that we've watched it and we finished it, and now we're finished it with our audience right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can talk about like the entirety of the themes of what's important, like the athletic club also being important, like you were talking about. In season 2, I fucking love when the leader or like the captain of the team, like he gets possessed by Dimples, and like that fight was super cool. Or, like,
when they were fighting the Scar guys.
Yeah. But then like in season 2 also, them trying to help Mob when he loses his fucking mind. Should we start talking about when he starts losing his fucking mind?
Yeah, because like the big thing is, so there's a couple episodes where Mob's freaking out because the girl he has a crush on since like elementary school, she's going to a really good private school for high school. So I guess the beginning of the end is we realize that, what's her name?
Takane.
That Takane is going to go to like a private high school, right? And what's funny is that like once the school figures that out, every guy in school is like literally lining up to ask her out before she leaves. But then that puts Mob in a weird space because like they're childhood friends and she never really saw Mob like that. Like they got less close once like she got popular and he's still like a quiet little nerd.
Yeah, and the audience knows. But like you said that Reagan suggested him.
Reagan might have suggested buying her flowers,
Yeah.
and it's like that. It takes a village thing. All the previous friends that we made in the past 2 seasons are starting to help him out. Like, there's people getting him flowers. There's people like helping him get some swag, get some clothes, get his riz up. You know, so the kids say, and like he's trying to get his courage up. You know what I mean? And everyone knows he's acting weird. Everyone knows something's on his mind. And so he calls Takane in the middle of the night. His brother hears the phone call, and then he's like, Takane, do you want to meet me at the park after school tomorrow so we can talk? And she's like, yeah, sure, Mom. What are you going to say? Oh, I don't know. I think it's something that like Butters.
Tweaking,
like
just
Butters.
tweaking,
It reminds me of Butters from South Park. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, golly gee.
I like that episode. They always clip it on TikTok. The one was like, the mom is yelling at him from like downstairs. It's like, stop making that face, Butters. It's like, this is just my face. It's like, this is how it is. Look, and they're just like, don't do that.
But the episode I think is hilarious is the more like I'm starting to get a lot of the TikToks that are like juxtaposing the actual episode to the two guys that are the two producers that are like making the show but also do all the voices. They're like two Dan Harmons.
Those are awesome.
But they're funny because there's an episode where Cartman is doing a Butters impression and like talking to his parents. It's the same fucking dude. Like,
yeah.
So like he's doing an impression of himself doing a different impression, which is like that's talent. Honestly, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, that episode's hilarious.
Oh golly gee, I just need to get over here and
Butters.
gets a what did he say? He told Butters his dad, "Oh, it's some hot ween or something." What did you just say, Butters? Oh, I'm just saying that you're just a little pussy ass bitch, and you don't got.
And it's funny because when they first this fucking super crazy, away from the conversation, but like
Tangent.
Yeah, tangent. There you go. This is a crazy ass tangent, but I like the first reaction that he gets is like, "Oh shit, that was pretty good." Yeah. So you can definitely do that.
I'm gonna miss Dan Harmon a little bit.
Dan Harmon's out.
I mean, not Dan Harmon. Who's the other one? Justin Roiland. I said Dan Harmon twice. I meant Justin Roiland. Yeah.
Shit.
But it sounds like he wasn't doing anything. He didn't have any writing credits for like 2 whole seasons.
And anybody can do those voices.
You think? Yeah, every nerd on the internet does those voices.
Yeah, there's
now.
there's like 1,000 accounts that do like impersonations.
You know what I thought about doing the other day because I saw TikTok about it. Like a lot, you can get a lot of voiceover work on Fiverr.
Fiverr.
Yeah, it's like it's impromptu like jobs. You can get like if you search locally, you could probably get somebody to do your job. Or I've looked at prices for video editing for the podcast on Fiverr before, but there's a lot of like job postings for like voice actor work. Like how people are always complaining that for English dubs that they don't pay anything. It's because they're out here on Fiverr paying fucking $20 an episode.
That's cool, bro.
Which would be pretty hard, but I think it'd be interesting to try. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of works out there. I didn't even look it up. Anyways, what are we talking about?
Mob Psycho.
So he's telling the girl, Harojika Wada girl, Takane, whatever I said, that like he's gonna confess her. Us as an audience know that. We realize that okay, school happens. He's nervous, and like he has an understanding. We see the meter, like the little 100% meter for Mob, and we see it jumping randomly almost, even though. What we hear in Mob's voice during that school day is like, I'm not really nervous. Like, I don't think I've ever been so calm about something like this before.
And then I don't know if it was just me, but when the episodes are being served to you like that, and you think, oh, okay, he's gonna go, like declare his love for him. That big emotion is like, is Mob Psycho a romance? And you're like, what? Like, what's going on here?
It reminded me more for a minute of the ending to, like, Love is War or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, that's what I've been watching all along?
Yeah.
Right? Because by the end, you're like, oh, fuck. And in some sort of fucking tragic, like, super good drama, Mob gets run over.
Yeah. ran over.
Ran over.
Yeah, yeah. So he gets his flowers. He's on his way to the park. He saves a cat from getting hit by a car. Uses
Telepathic thing?
his telepathic
Telekinesis?
the powers.
Yeah, the powers.
And like saves the cat, and then it's the exact same scene from like Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie, or
Zero.
the beginning to Yu Hakusho, where it's a kid like trying to cross the street and somebody just not paying attention and on their phone while driving, like is about to hit him. And then all we see, it's the end of the episode. Like all we see is like we see Mob like lunging, dropping the flowers, and then episode ends. And next episode, all we see is just blood on the ground. This ginormous pool of blood on the ground. And just all these adults around him being like, holy shit, is he breathing? Is he breathing? The kid, why isn't he moving? Why isn't he moving? The guy on the car is just like, I didn't see him. What's going on? And we're just like, oh, like this is like episode like 9, 10. We're like, there's so
10,
much
I
more.
think.
There's like so much more anime going on right now.
Yeah, because if you've been watching anime, you're like, oh, it's 12 episodes. I'm on 10. I'm on 10 right now. He's being hit by the fucking thing. What's going on?
What's going on? And then it's all hell breaks loose at that point. Like this way that Mob has been tying down his psychic potential, which is just like otherworldly. It just all lets loose all at once.
And in a couple of minutes, they just change the fucking energy of the fucking whole fucking anime.
It turns into like Godzilla. like,
Dude!
It turns into Godzilla.
No, it does for real, because not only were we talking about Rika's curse, like in Jujutsu Kaisen, his own body, his own psyche takes over himself because of the things that he's been stressing about in the mundane life up to this point. Because in some way, his psychic ability form of himself, it's almost like Full Metal Alchemist at this point.
Yeah.
Or Shadow Link.
It's like more like Shadow Link because like the conversation Mob and his psychic self are having with them. So it's the psychic self that's controlling the body. The Mob we know is inside of the consciousness and can't control the body. The conversation they're having is just like, dude, you're not real with yourself. It's like there's I don't know if there's spoilers, but in the most recent episode of Ted Lasso, one of the guys ends up being gay.
Oh yeah, I know that
And then his whole spiel is like, dude, I'm tired of living two lives. That's kind of what Mob's consciousness, what his psychic consciousness is telling him. Is like, you are living two lives. We are the same person, but the reason why I'm going apeshit right now is because you don't want to accept me.
So then you think about all those times where he had something like that stressed him, just like that first question in the episode 1 is like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be in 10 years or whatever?
Yeah.
You know? And it's something that I feel, or as an audience, I don't know, I'm feeling like that about it, but like the power mind, the shadow mind of himself.
Yeah.
Is like, I could fix those situations just by being who I am right now, just like by being a psychic crazy guy.
What do I care about my 20-year plan? I'm a fucking psychic.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
I beat the leader of Claw. Do you think I give a shit?
Yeah, I'll get a bank to give me the bank.
Yeah, I'll own the bank.
Yeah,
I'll own the world. I don't care.
Exactly. And it becomes like this crazy, very, 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 very psychotic thing that you're watching.
Oh yeah, it's real psychosis. That's psychosis for sure.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it's again all the friends we started making all the way, all the other psychics. They're just like, oh shit, like they all feel it. They're like, we gotta go help Mob, bro. Mob would help us. Mob help me. Like,
I was talking about like those stills like in between episodes of like where like a commercial movie.
Yeah.
There's one where there's like psychics just like freaking out, like
they hear it,
what they're doing. Yeah.
They hear Mob, and that's why like I think like a character that's not talked about enough, but like I think the manga and anime try to make a big point that he's kind of the homie is it Hanekawa?
Serizawa?
No, Hanezawa.
Hanezawa?
The blonde one. The
yes.
one that Mob also kicked his ass in season 1.
Yeah.
Because again, about like Mob Psycho being a cyclical story, in Mob Psycho 100 season 1, the first big fight was Hanezawa was a middle school bully and was bullying all the other middle school bullies with his psychic powers. Mob shows up and he's like, hey dude, this is really mean.
not
What you're doing
cool.
is not cool. Like, can we like?
You
They're
do the mob voice.
they're empowered. Let's be
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
to them.
yeah.
And but then like once he made Mob bleed on his head by throwing something at his head with psychosis, all like limit 0 Mob, like you just unlock the beast.
Yeah.
And that's what happens here. Hanazawa shows up. He's like, Mob did this for me. I haven't seen you this mad since you put me in my place when I was acting like a dickhead, and now I got to help you right now. And like I was like, oh, Hanazawa, help him, please. He's dying. He's so hurt.
It's 'cause-
his head's bleeding. Hanazawa, please.
Bro, it's because it's so crazy how they so quickly like force feed you like the entire theme of like the friends we made along the way, and
Loved it.
yeah, dude, they're just like, you know what this anime is about?
Friends.
3 episodes, boom, and then just like squeeze the shit out about what all this anime is about.
And it's funny because those episodes are titled like Mob 1, Mob 2, Mob 3.
Yeah. Oh, Chris.
But he beats the shit out of Hanazawa so bad.
Yeah.
Like, you think Hanazawa is dead for a second. I'm like, Dimple's dead. Hanazawa might be dead. Like, he runs into the guys from Scar from season 1. And like, they try to stop him. They get wrecked. The leader of Claw shows up because now he's just like a bioweapon for the government.
Yeah, he's like Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn.
He's a Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
He's Suicide Squad, right? So they send him out there. They're like, okay, we'll take off this many years off your sentence if you stop that kid.
Yeah.
He gets wrecked immediately because his son that we became like close with in season 2, but he was introduced in season 1, Sho, who's also like best friends with Mob's brother Ritsu now. Like, Sho was trying to help his dad fight up Mob, and normally the Suzuki guy would like never back down from another psychic battle, but like he starts getting visions of what Mob taught him in season 2. It's just like, no, there's more than being all powerful. Your family's important, your friends are important. So he starts getting visions of his wife that he hasn't seen in forever, and Sho, and he's just like, you know what, Sho, we're running. Like in like normally in like big shonen manga anime, that's a no-go. Like, Goku would never do that, really.
Yeah.
But this is such like, it's so mature. It's like even the villains learn their lesson after getting their ass kicked by Mob.
Yeah, or not getting their ass kicked, just like them two. Because who else tries to fight him? His brother tries to talk to him.
Right. So then here's the thing too. So the meter we've been seeing, where I was describing the 100% Mob Psycho 100 meter, was going up when he was saying that he was calm during the school day. That wasn't Mob's meter. That was Ritsu's meter. So then Ritsu shows up and he's like, dude, you've been holding in all this power because you made me bleed on accident one time because you beat up some bullies that were trying to jump us, which I appreciate you to death. It was an accident. I understand it. You didn't have to do all this. And you see the meter jumping and meter jumping. I'm like, why is the meter jumping now? Like, this is already 1,000,000% Mob at this point. But it was Ritsu's meter. Ritsu was reaching 100% for, what emotion was it? I think it was like, it said self-respect or something. Or like, just full Ritsu. 100% Ritsu. And he's just like, he finally gained the power to not feel inadequate about Mob's powers. And like, he felt sure of enough of himself that he could bring Mob like from the brink. You know what I mean? And he also gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, he gets his
But
ass
it was a
kicked.
really, really cool sentiment when it happened. Like, when it said the Ritsu 100%, and it had the big glowing letters that it normally does from up, I was like, that's dope. That is dope.
And at this point, Mob Psycho has you in shackles. Yeah. And you don't know this. You don't know this, that you're, like, seeing not only, like, what it seems to be like a monster fight, like Godzilla,
Yeah.
but the athletic club gets involved too. They all get fucking swept too.
But everyone's trying to appease to his sense of personality, like his
Like,
sensibilities.
don't worry, bro. It's like, just run it off, bro. It's
Dude.
like, yeah.
Mob, do you remember when you were a little bitch and couldn't run 2 miles? Now look at you. You're out here wrecking the whole city.
Oh, shit, yeah. They just get fucked up. Who else tries to... At the same time...
The last one's Reagan.
Yeah. At the same time, we have... Takane. We have Takane. Is like,
she's
oh,
at
shit.
the park.
Yeah, she's like, there's a fucking tornado.
Did I just feel an earthquake?
Yeah, there's a fucking tornado over there. I'm just gonna wait here for Mob, I guess.
And all the news is like, stay away from the area, stay
Yeah.
away from the area. And she's like, And the one time she's about to leave, she's like, no, Mob's a good friend. I should stay here and wait for him. He wouldn't ditch me.
Yep.
And I think the very last one is Reagan and Serizawa.
Yeah, Serizawa using his actual powers, like his umbrella comes back.
Yeah,
We haven't seen the
he was
umbrella.
trying to like block the Mob's psychic power from Reagan and trying to protect
Remind me
him.
of Zelda too. It's like, oh yeah, I can't fucking, you know.
And it was cool, and it felt, and even Reagan was like, you know what, dude? Thank you for getting me this far. I got it from here. And it was like, dude, you're literally just a human. What are you talking about?
And then was it weird that because in the animation he leaves Serizawa and it's like, dude, what are you doing, right? What are you doing, Reagan? And he walks up to like the you know, the, what would you call it, the eye of the tornado? Where Mob is?
Yeah.
And he's walking through that with his human strength that we all know. And then at one point, in dialogue, he says, oh, I've been working on an exercise for a while. And, like...
It's because Dimple had already taken him over.
He already had taken him over at that point?
So Dimple came back. And, like,
Right,
what we've seen in
yeah.
Season 1 and Season 2 is that, like, when Dimple takes over Reagan's body, like, he can make him superhuman somewhat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dimple had already taken him over.
Ah.
So then, like, Dimple...
Yeah, because they do the same thing with the captain of the athletic club.
Yeah, it was Season 1 when Ritsu got hit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then, and it's crazy though, because like Reagan, he's still like, he's just got a human body. Like rocks are being thrown at him, huge slabs of concrete, and like he's getting fucked up. Like I think his shoes fall off, like his tie's torn, the suit that he's always wearing is messed up.
At one point, it looked like Cyberpunk, bro.
Yeah.
Like at one point, it looked like, you know, there's a building being thrown at you. Like how crazy.
Yeah.
Are you animating things? They did very well, man.
It's amazing. It's not a cheap looking anime, like at all. Like the source material looks kind of cheap, but like it's so cool how much money and like time they clearly spent on it. It's amazing. It's so dope. Because like, and that's like the best, like what really brings together Mob Psycho 100 is like Reagan busts his ass, he's hurt. Dimple like releases control, and it's just Reagan in front of Mob, and he's just like, I should have told you this a long time ago. Like, like it's really like, it's like a confession, but like a bro confession between the adult and the child. But like, it means a lot because these are the two main characters for Mob Psycho 100. It's Reagan like confessing to Mob, like, dude, I'm a fucking liar. I'm a phony. I'm a piece of shit. Like, I've just been taking advantage of you. Everything everybody else said, what Dimple said, what Ritsu said, what Serizawa said, like, I am literally just taking advantage of you for your psychic powers.
And behind that, inside Mob's mind, talking to his shadow Mob, they're having a conversation of like, dude, it's like, you don't understand. It's like, I fell in love with Takana, like, also because she liked how I used powers before we were in middle school.
She knows the real us.
Yeah, she knows the real us. It's like, you're not the one that's in love with her. You're just a fucking nerd. Like, something along those lines. And Mob is disappearing because he just doesn't think he knows who he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, good metaphor. Yeah. That's the metaphor.
You know? And he is literally being torn apart, and I'm glad that they didn't use like fucking puzzle pieces. Yeah. You know? Because damn, what was that fucking Blue Lock?
Yeah, it was Blue Lock. Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn, Blue Lock.
Love Blue Lock.
I got PTSD from.
I love Blue Lock. But yeah, so, and that was one of the gotchas that like Shadow Mob was saying to regular Mob, was just like, Ritsu's been fucking lying to you, bro. Like, that's how I know that you're not the real you.
She's nice to you, bro. She's just being nice to you.
But it was the Ritsu thing that got me to heart. It was just like, you are ignoring something obvious. Everybody knows it, and you are ignoring it because you're the pleb. I'm the real us. Like, you're not listening. It's like when Venom's trying to influence like Peter Parker, like just punch her in the face. don't do it. But we're nice guys. It's like that, and it's so But then when Ritsu says all that, and he's real to Mob, and he has him by the collar, and he's like, "Listen, like,
Reagan?
You're like my best friend, Mob. Like, you're like an 11-year-old kid, and you're like my best fucking friend in the world. I have like, it's not said outright, but he's like grown and learned so much from this somebody he was just trying to exploit, and that's when Shadow Mob like loses control, and he's just like, oh, he really said it, and it's just like, bam, and then Mob comes back, and he's like, oh, Sensei, what's up, buddy? Or I think in the dub it might be Master or something like that.
Yeah.
And Reagan's just like, "Oh, you're back. What's going on? Why are you freaking out?" He's just like, "We'll talk right now. There's just something that I need to take care of." And then he goes and talks to Takane, and like everybody, like Ritsu's there, and Serizawa's there, and Reagan are watching, and Dimple are watching, and they're like, "If he gets dumped, like he might go ape shit again. So we have to be like on full guard." And then he goes, and 10 seconds later he walks back, and he's got this big ass smile on his face, and they're like, what happened? And he's just like, oh, well, she doesn't want to date, but I think she wants to stay friends, so I think we're all right. And everyone's like, you're all right, buddy, you're okay.
No, but they animate him like about to like ball the fuck out, dude, which is hilarious.
It's great.
Hilarious because he comes, well, like as that's happening in the mind while the good mob is being like torn apart, you know, he comes back again in the same mind space that they're using, mind realm that they're using here.
Yeah, the consciousness.
Yeah, he comes back, it's like, hey dude, it's like, just go, like, get over here. It's like, we'll write this together, because it almost seems like a black and white situation. It's like, it doesn't have to be so black and white about it. It's like,
True.
Hold on, it's like, come over here. It's like, we'll figure this shit out together. And
yeah,
that's kind of how it went down at the end, if you allow me.
Yeah.
It just, I know I've seen this theme before. I don't know if you've seen the movie Voices.
No.
With Ryan Reynolds.
No.
It's a comedy horror of a
comedy horror.
Dude, of a schizophrenic who goes on and off his pills, and we see that happening in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's fucking weird, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of comedic themes to it, but it's not necessarily like a delivery
because
comedy.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds plays this schizophrenic who goes on and off his meds, and he kind of kills people.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy. But it reminds me of that because at the end, he's so shocked with himself because in that movie he talks to his dog and to his cat.
Yeah.
And the dog is kind of like the good conscience, and the cat is like kind of like the bad conscience of him, like, you know. And at the end, it's like the dog talking to the cat, and they're like, "Well, we had a good run, blah blah blah, whatever," and they split. So it just seems like a split of psyche.
Yeah.
But here in Mob is like a psyche joining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because Mob can be the real him now. Especially now that he's convinced to Takane.
That was long. It took forever.
No. That made sense to me because, like, part of the reason that he suppressed, like, his his psychic self was, like, once Takane lost interest in, like, his psychic powers, then he felt like he didn't need them anymore, really. And that's when he lost interest in his own powers and his own talent. And like him and Takane, like him not being obsessed with her anymore, but everyone else realizing who he is. That's where he can like level out a little bit.
And as that happens, as a psyche joint that happened, he goes and faces Takane.
Yeah.
He comes back real quick.
Yeah.
Like in 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I got rejected. And then he's like, he almost gets in his feels, and they animate it so good. It's fucking hilarious. But then, like, Reagan was like, come on, let's just fucking go.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't worry about it.
He forgets about it, yeah.
Don't worry about it. But then what's cool is they do show that they stay like talking on the phone late at night, like they stay friends, which probably means more because like he doesn't know who Takane is anymore. Like he says that at one point in one of those previous episodes where he's freaking out when she says she's going to leave. He's like, "Wow, I really don't know anything about her anymore."
It's crazy because it almost feels like, because again, I thought it was gonna be, you know, at this point until before she rejects him, you feels like, oh my god, this is gonna end in a romance.
Yeah.
It doesn't because she rejects him, but then, fuck, I forgot where I was going with this. she tells him, is like, I never really seen you like that,
Mm-hmm.
which is right, because we never seen anything
No.
that would be to let off like a relationship, especially like in middle school or
Right.
high school, either high school or middle school.
Middle school.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, well, I wanna. I guess I want to feel that they do end up together.
I think so, and that's what I meant about like bringing up that they do talk more on the phone, because then he can learn the real her. You know what I mean? He doesn't know shit about her. Like, what the fuck?
It's middle school.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's not even only that, they haven't spoken in like 4 or 5 years. Like, they don't know shit about each other. Like it's one thing to be like lustful over somebody. It's one thing to actually like the actual person.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think I took that same sentiment away. The actual final scene of Mob Psycho 100, period, not just season 3, is they're at the Spirits and Such consultation office. It looks like about like a year time skips happened, something like that. Tomei's working there now, like after she's in high school now, and she left the telepathy club. Serizawa's basically running the store
I
now.
hope she's getting paid good, bro.
I hope she is, but like she's doing what she wanted always, which was being around like telepaths and stuff like that. Mob, he's still friends with the shop, but he's not like on call as much as he used to be, because now him and Reagan have that understanding that he can't use him like that now, which is better. Like, their friendship is solidified. Him and Takane are solidified. Ritsu and Mob now have a better relationship. Like, Mob having a full-blown fit, a psychic panic attack, helped everybody understand his situation better, and now everyone's kind of better for it.
Yeah, because even Serizawa, like, if anything, his arc ended a while ago. He's already a grown adult that knows what he wants to do.
Oh, yeah.
Which is help people.
And he's going to go back to school.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So his arc finished probably in season 2.
Yeah.
You know, but like when we see Serizawa in this last scene of Mob Psycho 100, him like, oh yeah, he just takes care of everything now, and like it's a fulfillment on its own. It's another ribbon on its own.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
No,
It's crazy. It feels amazing.
It does, and it's crazy because like it really feels like you're saying bye to your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like there's clearly something going on, because everyone's there. Everybody, all the other psychics they know, all of Mob's friends, everybody that this group of core people has made friends with, are all showing up to the Spirits and such consultation office, except for Reagan. And then Reagan shows up, and then it was his birthday, and he forgot his own birthday because he was so busy working.
Yep.
Which is a very Reagan thing to do. Even though he's very self-centered, he's also like kind of not in a weird way.
I hate the name Reagan because it reminds me of Reagan.
From
Donald Reagan.
Oh, okay. Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, Donald Reagan. I'm sorry. What do you call him?
Ronald.
Ronald. What do you call him?
Donald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Hate him, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spelled different. It's spelled like
I know.
It's spelled like Reagan from Mortal Kombat. Mm-hmm. So just think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's like Reagan from Mortal. Anyways, it's Reagan's birthday, and then they get him a cake. He's surprised, but then like Mob Psycho 100 fashion, the cake falls, and then Reagan's face falls on top of the cake. Hilarious, and it is cool.
And
like
there's like all the psychics in the room, and nobody helped.
nobody helped.
Cool.
Nobody had like
Yeah.
the
wits to do
yeah.
anything about it.
Nobody
Mom's
helped
just
him.
like, oh shit!
Happy birthday! and that's it. It's awesome. It's amazing. Like Mob Psycho 100 is the entire series is like a 10 out of 10 for real.
Yeah, dude, it is so good, and it's so crazy that it took so long. It's just a 3 when like Demon Slayer's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know like that the animation's gonna be amazing because
Yeah.
it's been. Hopefully, UFO Table is taking care of it still.
Yeah.
Right. It's just so good. Mob Psycho right now. If you're new to anime, it's something that you can just watch.
You could watch this in a day.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could watch this in one day,
Yeah.
and you'll feel better for it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Definitely.
We got a bunch of comments. We got, if you want to giggle with us, like in our after discussion special, which we call a nerd down.
A nerd down.
So you want to do a nerd down?
Nerd down.
Nerd down.
Nerd down.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Down, where the nerds get down. Again, Drew Filippoulias, Aldo Mendez, the beginning of this Nerd Down. Make sure to subscribe. You know what I mean? Between Nerds on YouTube. It's probably how you're listening to this right now.
Hopefully on YouTube. I mean, we do use our audio You know, to put it out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
And thank you guys for listening. Chartable, again, great job every week giving us the ups and downs on the nationwide. I mean,
just charting in France.
Yeah, charting in France. Thailand?
And Thailand and Australia. Yeah. I don't know what that's about.
Thank you guys. I don't know how to speak your language besides, Australian, but I don't think they have a...
I think it was cool because the past week our Chainsaw Man episode was our most downloaded episode that we've had out of our past 10, 11 episodes. So past 3 months of content, for whatever reason, because it's Chainsaw Man and it's popular right now, it picked up some good traction, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, and I'm glad that we're talking about good stuff, that it's also hot shit right now.
Yes.
Because I've been bringing up hot shit all the time.
Yes.
Because I want to watch that, and I want you guys to listen to us talk about that things. Because I feel the reason, well, not the reason, but the purpose of, I guess, the beginning episodes of Between Nerds was for us to get our almost your gym medals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, you talk about you have watched this, you have watched that, you have watched this, you have watched that. I think we've watched enough to start talking about hot shit.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, because now it's not just obviously we're still going to watch stuff that we want to watch. You know what I mean? Hey, there's this obscure thing Aldo's been talking about for weeks. We're going to watch it, of course. Mm-hmm. But then we're at the point that, we can actually be up on anime culture right now. You know what I mean? It's not oh, you can't talk about this because you haven't watched NGE. Mm-hmm. Oh, you haven't talked about this because where's y'all's episode on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Go listen.
Everything's out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we started that a little bit late last year when we were doing Bocchi the Rock, Dyna Xenon, and stuff like that. You know what? And when Licorice Recoil and
so many good ones, bro.
And those were all last season kind of anime that we watched in a good amount of time. Yeah.
This end of season that we're gonna have soon, probably.
Bro, I am watching 5 anime right now.
Yeah.
No lie, I'm literally watching 5 anime right now.
Hell yeah, what are you watching?
I'm watching Hell's Paradise. Oshinoko, of course. Amazing. It's the number 1 rated anime ever on my anime list right now. Konosuba. God's explosion on this wonderful world.
Konosuba. You know what I'm starting to notice? There's a pattern with making bodily fluids pretty looking. They make it rainbowish.
Oh, vomits a rainbow.
Yeah, because even in Mob Psycho we see that. Not so much in Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man was super crude.
Yeah. They blurred out the vomit.
Yeah, they do, but it looks fucking disgusting.
It looks disgusting.
Yeah, it looks so
even
disgusting.
blurred out. It looks disgusting.
Something like Konosuba, it's all they don't show nobody else throwing up besides her, and it's rainbows.
Yeah.
Because even in JoJo's, when they're pissing through the straw that the guy's breathing through in that lake, they make it seem all shiny and yeah.
God, I haven't thought about JoJo, and it'd be cool to get back into we haven't talked about Diamond is Unbreakable.
Oh, we haven't.
You know what I mean? Depending what happens the next 2 weeks, we might want to do we want to do an episode, and we'll try to find the time on season 3 of Haikyuu. And we'll work with CJ's schedule, and we'll try to get him here because that's something we just love and we just want to talk about ASAP, and it's hot shit anyways. We're all just talking about.
I saw a TikTok the other day that is Haikyuu actually saved the volleyball club.
Oh, it did. It did.
Japan.
I saw that TikTok.
Yeah.
After the Haikyuu manga started coming out, Japanese high school men's volleyball enrollment went up 30%. That's a big deal.
Yeah, dude. And now we have the super crazy Japanese volleyball teams. Yeah. Now volleyball is insane. I don't know if you're in volleyball TikTok too.
No. Oh, I am a little bit. I get some cool volleys.
I think you got me into volleyball TikTok because you sent me a volleyball TikTok and I was like, oh shit, this shit's tight. And then I looked at the hashtag and I was like, oh, I like a couple of them. Now I'm in there.
Oh yeah. No, and so what was it? So I said Oshinoko, Konosuba, Hell's Paradise. I like Hell's Paradise, but I don't like it nearly as much as like the other things Studio Mappa's done. Like I feel like it's such a trendy thing to call it like Mappa's dark trilogy of Jujutsu Kaisen and like Attack on Titan and no. Studio Mappa has done. Well, they've done the most recent season of Attack on Titan, but their dark trilogy is Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise is literally the worst of those three by like a good amount.
I haven't heard anything about it.
It triggers you because like it has a lot of gore, it has a lot of body mutilation, it has a lot of a lot of defamatory language and imagery towards Taoist and Buddhist like principles, which is like off-putting for somebody in Japan. But I described it in our last episode. It might have been the last episode where I was saying it reminded me a lot of Made in Abyss, but it's like adults and less about like the child mutilation. So like it fixes my biggest gripe about Made in Abyss, but then it's also kind of like the stakes are lower. Because, like, in Made in Abyss, it's like, dude, they're children. Don't hurt them.
Yeah. No, man. I can't believe how much hype, like, Made in Abyss got in, like, the voting in the anime awards.
Yeah.
It got a lot of traction, dude. Like, it won a lot of things. It was crazy. It's just insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then I'm watching Demon Slayer, obviously. Like, and I've read the entirety of Demon Slayer. But I forgot how quickly the manga moves from like the end of the Tengen Uzui portion up until the very end of the manga. Like we're on episode 4 of the season, and the big bad upper rank moon demons are already here.
I haven't seen it, dude.
But like it's so quick. I forgot how quickly the manga moves from here on out.
Hell yeah.
And like it's gonna be a roller coaster ride, just going up until just an 11 episode season. And then I'm also watching a little bit of Mashle, the one that's like One Punch Man and Harry Potter. And Black Clover a little bit. It's just like this guy is he's super strong for this world in a world full of magicians, and he has no magical power.
What would be a theme you would like to see in anime form?
A theme?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got your swimming, you got your volleyball, you got your basketball, you got your action, your fantasy.
I'm just gonna start talking out loud, and maybe I'll get the answer to that question. So, like a big reason that I'm always explaining to Karen when we watch Oshi no Ko that I like Oshi no Ko because it's different. It's literally about the entertainment industry in Japan and breaking that down. It's just like I'm literally reading a chapter in Wingstop the other day about like this girl that's a cosplayer showing up on a morning daytime television TV show that's shown on the internet, but then she's actively getting harassed in the industry because the producer of that show, who's harassing the assistant director that the girl Ruby's trying to get after, so that she can figure out the people that did whatever they did to her mom. Like it's trying to break down this murder mystery aspect, but it's going into these micro managing details of what it means to like run a daytime television TV show is what I'm trying to say. And like it does that for the manga industry. It does that for plays, for movies, for music production. And like I've never seen that before. I've never seen anything broken down like that. Like I would be down to watch a class on something like that, but I'm watching an anime form.
Okay.
So you get what I mean? So I guess that's what you're trying to say, like something it's something completely different. It's not High School Magic. Is it like boxing in anime? I guess like I've never seen a car anime, which I know they're out there, but maybe that's something I'd be interested in watching like Initial D or something like that. Watching like Initial D or something like that. Or like racing animes, like F1 or something like that. Like I'm sure that's in an anime form somewhere.
Yeah, I think it is, actually. I think it's coming out this season.
That's what I'm saying, like stuff like that. That's what I'd be interested in watching. Cool. I saw some clips from the new Pokemon anime. It looks fun. It looks like less of the stagnant formula that Pokemon was doing when Ash was still around.
Right, because Ash just finised doing his thing.
Yeah, well, it was a couple months ago. It was a while ago. I don't think we acknowledged it.
We never did. We felt bad about it.
We didn't give a shit.
Yeah. We got fucking 2 Pikachus,
We didn't give a shit about the death of Ash Ketchum in anime.
No, that was cool, dude. Fuck it. It was time.
What else is going
I'm glad they rebooted it though, because I like how it looks too.
I something I always wish is I wish like how everyone that grew up with Pokemon talks about what Pokemon would be like if it was real. You know what I mean? Like it's cage fighting amongst animals. Like imagine if there was like a more mature, like a gory like Pokemon or something like that. Like how we were talking about how that new Power Rangers spin-off anime like
true.
it's about like if the Power Rangers were evil, right?
Like they set up their own like attacks.
Right, like that's a cool bit of storytelling that I've never thought about before. But it's mature. It's taking the pieces of media that I love from being a kid, which I watched Power Rangers as a kid, and then it's like maturing them up and keeping me interested.
I feel like Mob Psycho season 3 did that very well too.
Yeah, but like
Takes a-
mature.
Yeah, it takes the kiddish out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. Like the beginning of the season, it shows a lot of those slice of life, kid of stuff. The kid things that he's doing like every day, and it shows that like that's okay. You know what I mean? Life doesn't have to be as a full grown adult like super exciting and interesting. It's okay to just be a stupid kid, man. Like you don't have to bring yourself down like trying to hide your psychic potential and all this other stuff. What else am I watching? That's pretty much it. It's a good amount. It's keeping me busy.
You watched the last of season 3 of Ted Lasso?
It's not done. There's 2 more episodes left in Ted Lasso, but I have seen up to the end of episode 8. So, like, they went to Amsterdam and all that, and then they're doing Total Football.
I saw that.
You saw the Total Football
Yeah.
part? Okay, so then you're caught up.
Oh, really? When they tie like the strings to their dicks?
Did they play the game at the end of that where they're actually trying Total Football in action?
I don't think so. I
No?
haven't watched all the-
So that might be the episode that you're missing.
Okay.
They try the Total Football thing. So Ted Lasso's hilarious, right? Because like it's just about like I feel for it so much because it's like you're just a dumb American in another country. Everyone knows you're just this dumb American and you're just trying your best, but like you're just a dumb American, bro. Like and that's how I feel all the
Bro,
time.
same reason I got the bidet. I got a bidet attachment. That's just pretty
You wanted to feel more European?
Bro, there's things I don't know about soccer, nor bidets. You know what I'm saying? It's great. It's great. Highly
V approves
recommend.
of you using the bidet. That's what I meant.
No, yeah, she approves. Yeah, she's used it. She's used it.
That's so funny. And the new Ranking of Kings episodes are coming out. I haven't seen any of
I
it.
haven't seen any of it, bro.
That's something we love.
Have
I
you heard
know.
anything good?
I haven't, but I have heard people talking about it.
Good.
So that's super cool. You want to do some comments real quick?
I feel like we need to do some comments. 'cause
Okay. Here's your palate cleanser, everybody. Okay.
Palate cleanser.
Again, hit us up on social media. We read all our emails in episode if y'all want to talk to us. Most of these comments are coming from both YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Either's fine. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Between Nerds, one word. Instagram Reels, Between Nerds. We have a Facebook page, Between Nerds, one word. Just hit us up. We're down to talk to you openly on the internet.
Did you say that email?
Which one?
Did you say that email?
Save what email?
The between nerds podcast at gmail.com.
No, I didn't. No. So
There you
yeah,
go.
email us between nerds podcast at gmail.com. It feels so wrong me saying it, but
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's what it is. Anyways, so on our main episode for episode 139, the slicing through the hype Chainsaw Man episode, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic, love Jaeger bombs actually.
He does love
I
Jaeger
do love
bombs.
Jaeger bombs, and everyone hates that I love Jaeger bombs.
With sugar-free Red Bull, I'm okay with them. Last time we did Jaeger bombs, it was crazy.
I love it. It reminds me of college. It smells like college.
The Jaeger bomb was like corroding my tongue, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why me and Aldo only drink sugar-free Red Bull because we drank so many Jaeger bombs in a weekend one time that the fake sugar that's in Red Bulls was literally eating away at our tongues. It was
that
awful. He said, "Amazing episode, crying laughing emoji. Appreciate it, bro.
Hey,
awesome.
really good comment.
I appreciate it. I love that. And like we worked hard on that episode. We came out of that recording being like, this is our best recording in a good while.
Yeah, it has. It has. Hopefully, this one is too and better.
This one is even better. I feel.
I think so too. I think so too. It went really good.
On our YouTube short, what's the most awkward situation being a teenager has gotten you into?
Oh yeah.
Mr. British Fireworks commented, licking peanut butter off my stepmom's Toyota Corolla. Dude, I hope you're kidding. Like, I swear to God.
There's no way.
He's just being funny, right?
There's no way being horny gets you to that point. So yeah, he's being funny.
It could. It could. I'm just
But
saying.
off the car, why would you lick it off the car? Why is that in any way horny?
It's a fixation. I don't know. He's got a fixation with something his
I guess-
stepmom drives.
I went to go see these two Mexican comedians here.
Who is it?
In the plaza. They're Ricardo Perez and Slowoski.
Okay.
They one of them talks about how it's weird that fetishes are not like chosen. Like, you don't pick your fetish. Like, you're just like, oh shit, feet are crazy. You know, like. But then it gets just either more toxic or more harmful to you or more weird.
What are you supposed to do about your fetishes?
Exactly.
Like Aldo's bidet fetish. Yeah, on our YouTube short, the real reason Denji is under Makima's control, question mark, exclamation point, colon, Chainsaw Man. Mr. Brayan, it doesn't look like Brian, it looks like Brayan V. I was like, she has what? And he said, ass and tits, my boy, the downfall of us all. Sad guy.
Hey.
Hey man, you're supposed to feel good about ass and tits. Why are you bringing the mood down on that one?
Yeah.
Whatever ass and tits did to you, that's your problem.
I never been sad when I see an ass and tits.
On our on that same YouTube short, but that as a TikTok.
Yeah.
Mr. KC Ace Marshall 4044 commented some spoilers about the why Denji is actually under Makima's control, and I did not appreciate that. And then me and him had a long, hearty conversation about how he's such an interesting individual because he watches anime and plays video games, and his interests are varied because he plays non-mainstream video games.
Damn.
Touch grass. Just touch grass. Like,
There's-
that's all I'm asking.
How do you fall? Like I was talking about this shit. Like, how do you become, my $800 pound life? You know, like I know there's things to addiction, but like it's like kind of like holy shit. Like, how do you get there without like noticing
Right.
that it's getting bad? And what were we talking about? Oh yeah, like not doing something other than the things that you want to do. It's gonna take away at your life.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not interacting with real people can fuck with your head.
Exactly.
That's why, like,
not doing the thing fucks you up. You have to do the thing.
Like, I could never get to 800 pounds because my mom would never let that happen. I'd never hear the end of it.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, am I not just hanging out with my damn mother? And
We
she's
have
like,
to remodel the entrance to the house.
Okay.
Like, what do you have to do? No. I'm not telling you.
Oh!
Like, imagine like that's a conversation
you're in a wheelchair for eating too much. Like, we have disabled plates because you ate too much.
big problem in fucking America, dog.
Yeah, it is.
God, in Mexico too, dog. Like, people are getting fucking chunky in Mexico.
Isn't America the fattest country though?
I think it's the second though.
For real?
No, Mexico's the second one. Yeah, and they're, I don't know. There's a lot of good food in Mexico though.
Well, yeah, I agree. Super Tangent Podcast commented.
Not this one. That's a page of the comment.
What?
I'm just saying.
So, not this tangent. The actual TikTok account, Super Tangent Podcast, commented on our video where I'm explaining, really dumbed down, the plot to NGE. Where I'm just like, yeah, he came on his coworker and his other coworkers trying to hit on him. Put all the bioorganic spiritual elements of both Evangelion and The Witch from Mercury are ... wild. See, okay, here's the thing that I don't think I've ever said on the mic. I don't think I could ever do a podcast by myself. And I think it's a talent that there are people in the world that do a podcast by themselves. And the reason why is because I need another person to like maybe call me out when something I says is too fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if something I say is just so like writing my own thought pattern so hard that it comes off stupid as fuck that nobody can listen to it. Like that's why I could never do a podcast by myself.
I hope you told me too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that I almost feel bad for this Super Tangent podcast guy because he's got nobody to like jump his like thoughts off of that he thinks everything he's saying and commenting is so highbrow when he's literally just Googling facts about like NGE and putting it in our comment section. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, dude, I promise I'm not impressed. You can try your best to impress me. Like, I'm not impressed, like at all. And neither is Aldo.
I'm fucking impressed. Nah, I'm fucking impressed at the kind of conversation can some. I don't know if they're bots or not. You can never be completely sure. But like, if these are real,
are real comments.
If these are real comments, like,
I feel bad for like where humanity is gonna end up if these are real people.
It's just
I prefer the bots at this point
because. The way that I was telling you that now we get to like see hot shit and shit like that because we've gotten like our Pokemon gym medals from like, oh yeah, we watched that. Okay, it's like, oh, have you watched Naruto? No, we haven't watched Naruto, but yes, we have watched Naruto. We haven't seen it for this podcast, but we've seen it. But in any case, and there can be like, oh well, you can't be talking about this if you haven't seen this. No, we've seen that shit. But like, these cats, they would have to say something so. Like a hot take on this fucking in this podcast, right? They would have to say, well, like, I think NGE is more about Hebrewism than Christianity. What? What are you talking about? That's crazy.
I didn't get any of that.
I didn't get any of that. What do you have to say?
I think the comment that just made me mad was just like, I'm just like, but what about NGE? And he's like, oh no, I was like, what about Gurren Lagann? And he's like, definitely a fun 2007 anime with nods to Eva and the mecha anime that predates Gundam in the 70s. I'm just like, dude, you're just literally saying nothing. Like, that is like 20 words.
AI.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but shit AI. Like, this isn't even ChatGPT, bro. Like, this is garbage. This is garbage. And like, you are saying this like it's profound. And you're just throwing out the loosest bits of information, and it's bad. Like, it's bad. And I have almost 200 subscribers on YouTube, so I can say that.
Yeah, I understand. There's like a disconnect with people. I don't know. I feel like you're a kind of person that knows. How do I say this without sounding like one of those girls that like crystals, like you know the vibe between the person. Like the energy, the situation, you can read the room enough to be like, this person's like bullshitting me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
You get me?
Yeah, I understand.
So, I don't know where I was going with this.
Me neither.
But
this one.
This type of person here is like...
It's bullshit.
Well, yeah, it's bullshit.
You're just being pretentious on the internet. Like, exactly. No one's impressed by this right now.
Exactly.
That was all our comments. We can talk about John Wick if you want. We can talk about... I do want to watch John Wick, so maybe there'll be a more detailed discussion later on. This is Mothra. Love Mothra to death. It's a Squishmallow from Box Lunch.
That's a great one.
Love this bitch.
I've always wanted to get one of those like nerd boxes from the internet.
No, they're always a scam.
Really?
They're always it's because it's always like the goods that nobody else has picked up. So it's stuff that's on sale anyways. You might as well just spend your money on stuff you actually want. So if there's like a figure like that Josuke is from a nerd box.
I get you. Okay.
You get what I mean? So and like Josuke is like the least popular JoJo, so like there's a lot of extra inventory that they can get cheap, and then they just throw it in this box.
It's just the shirts for me. I like nerdy shirts.
I'm picky with my clothes, man. Like I don't think I can trust somebody to pick up even a t-shirt for me.
You're right, and especially online is fucking crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You're just gonna get a shirt that says like I don't even know.
Backwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
It has 3 holes for arms. No, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. That's about all I had for this nerd down. I don't know.
No, John Wick. It's cool.
Yeah,
you should watch it.
Thumbs up.
If you don't catch it at the movie theater, Your living room
I
will
feel-
be a good experience.
I feel like big action though kind of should be seen at theater. Well, most movies you're like you should see this at theaters,
Yeah.
except for like Cocaine Bear, I guess. Like it was fine in theaters, but
Yeah.
it would have been.
DVD.
Yeah, it would have been
yeah.
all right at home. It would have been all right because it's like already on Netflix too.
Nah, and what else? I saw Mario.
Dude, I haven't seen Mario either. God,
Fun movie.
I had so
It has no plot. It's just Mario doing Mario things with Donkey Kong and Peach.
they're just
So-
totally gonna do a second one anyways, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what?
And it made so much money. It made so much money.
I'm not spoiling anything because the movie's not like about anything. But,
He's
like,
a plumber?
his brother, bro. He has a brother.
Oh no!
Named Luigi. Yeah.
And they're both Italian?
They're both Italian.
Damn.
Yes. They get split up in this like the tubing world, whatever. What it delivers you to the Mario world, Mario Bros world. Luigi gets lost, and it's in the forest of like the darkness section of the world, and like they do like the Luigi Mansion like theme.
That's
of it
cool.
Is super cool.
I love
dude.
Luigi.
They
Luigi's
have-
Mansion 1 is probably my favorite GameCube
Dude,
game.
they have the skulls, the dead toads, the little skull skulls.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're fucking cool, bro. And like they can totally do a Luigi's Mansion's fucking movie, dude.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. it's
Even a
awesome.
show like that be pretty neat.
Dude, it's.
Did you
great.
play Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, dude. I have both of them. I have the new one, and I play the Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube, bro. That was the best, bro.
Yeah, I didn't play the new one at all. Let me borrow it.
Yeah, I'll let
You don't have time to play video games. He's got kids. I should play that.
I'm gonna have 2 kids.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're
Baby
gonna have-
shower soon. You guys are invited.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys the locations right here at the bottom.
Between Nerds Avenue
Yeah, between Years Avenue.
in El Paso.
0 at T1000
Yeah. The 2011.
911.
Anyways, that's all the Mendes. I'm Drew Philip Elias. This has been Between Nerds Podcast, and this has been Between
Nerds.
Nerds.
Thanks for watching Between Nerds Podcast. Somewhere on the screen is a link to our most recent episode. Somewhere else on the screen is a link to a body of clips that you all should watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.